Welcome to day 18 of the 100 Days of Layers project. And today we are starting a completely new art journal spread. This was the first spread that I finished during the project, so within the first week of it. If you want to see how this one was created, just go over to my latest video and you'll see the process. And now we are continuing on a new spread. My book is getting super chunky, but that's the way I love it. So we'll keep working on it. I'm going to start with some collage. I find this image. This is from an old magazine from the 90s, and I've had this image waiting for a while. I like to go through magazines and just rip out anything that I feel I might want to use later, and that is one of them. So I will go ahead and just put it to good use today. Okay, that's my daily 10 minutes and I'm done with the first layer, so I'll be back again tomorrow for day 19. Welcome to day 19. We'll continue our layering process today. She looks a little wrinkly with all these little air bubbles underneath, but that's fine because this is not the way she'll look towards the end of the process. So now today I want to do some journaling. That's very simple for today, and that counts as one layer. So again, I'll leave it at that. And tomorrow will be day 20. I can't believe how quickly this project is going. Day 20 today, and we'll be creating our first layers. I'll be using some paints today. Paints and a sponge. I often love doing stencils with white color. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it looks really lovely in the layering process, but today, just going to change it up a bit and do a pink stencil. I don't really mind if the stencil gets a bit messy, but you do want to make sure that it stays still as much as possible. Mine often do get a little bit messy because I'm not really focusing on the staying still part quite enough. Just look at this pink. How gorgeous is that? Just some white color with a roller. I had this vision of doing this. Not sure if it'll work. It'll work, but it might not look the way I envisioned. And that's the fun part, isn't it? We'll get all those happy accidents. Put some water on it and let it dry, and then I'll do some scrubbing and see if that works, because that usually gives you this sort of worn down effect. It looks weathered and aged, and I really love that kind of stuff. Now we're getting some texture with the tissue again. This looks really cool with the water droplets. Too bad. It's a shame that they won't dry looking that way. And I'll scrub a bit and see if we can. Yeah, we're getting some ink on the paper. Yep, you see that? Some of the layers are coming off. The water helped a lot. It's another technique that I discovered by accident, so it's really worth just playing around, trying different things. Some of them work out and some of them won't, and that's absolutely fine. That's all part of the process. I actually really like it now. I think tomorrow I might be adding some inks, but we'll have to wait and see, so I'll leave this to dry for now, and we'll be back tomorrow. Today is day 21, and I think I will do some more journaling. This time with a Posca pen. This is an acrylic pen and it will dry permanent. I would just like to have some bigger scribbles that are visible from underneath the layers. My pen has suffered a bit, so it's not at its best anymore. That is incredibly freeing. 3 pens later though, one of them worked pretty well. That tip has really suffered as well though. But unfortunately, that's what I find happens when I use these pens on all kinds of surfaces. If you were to only use it on paper where there's no paint, no wax pastel, no other mixed media, acrylic inks, anything, I think they would last a lot longer. But mine have a bit of a rough time sometimes with me, but they hold on. I just love scribbling so much, and I really love how this clipping looks right now. So this one, it looks really aged, and that's because of the water and the scrubbing we did. I really like that look. So then that's the journaling done, and we'll continue tomorrow. Day 22 today, and I will be adding some pastels, I think. One of my favorite things to do for the underlayers. It's the rich colors that I really love. And this is just all about play. We built these layers one by one, and when we do it this way, there's just no pressure to do it right. You literally can't do it wrong. And I find that often people and my students have this that I would call decision fatigue. So when you do it layer by layer, I find that it's easier to not experience decision fatigue because you only have to make one single decision per creative session. You'll just need to decide, what small thing am I doing today? What should I do so that I can have 10 minutes of creative time and add something onto my page? And that's quite simple. And I think that's a fantastic starting point for a journal page. And then every single day when we add just one layer at a time, we really break it down. This is actually, in its essence, we're just breaking down the whole process into tiniest steps. And when you've got everything broken down into these tiny 10-minute steps, it's much easier to start. And that way, I feel personally, and I've noticed that in people, it's a lot easier. The starting point is the hardest. So when you do it this way, it's a lot easier to get yourself going, because you know that one tiny single addition onto the page is more than enough. And the beauty is that you can work for longer, but you don't have to. And now I will add some water. I will just spread these wax pastels around. I really love what's happening here. So on the magazine clipping, the paint isn't sticking quite as well as it is on the normal book pages, but it's actually creating these really cool textures, like here, like these sort of scratchy marks. When I do put some water, you can see how the white paint is actually coming off. That looks really cool. And it's all these tiny little surprises that you start getting along the way when you focus on just playing and having fun. Hello, we are at day 23. And I will keep building on my collage. I've got my little stash here. I put all the small clips that are left over onto these little clips, and then I can just pull them out whenever I need some. Now I've got my little collage here. I've just put all kinds of random little clippings all over the page, and it's highly unlikely that the collage will stay anything like this. And now I'm just going to start gluing them down in whatever order I feel like. Won't be thinking about it too much. And this is where I feel the process gets really meditative, because you can just literally take all the thinking out of it and just start sticking pieces of paper onto the page in whatever order. And it's just so much fun and so relaxing. I feel like I've been in a different dimension for the past 30 minutes, or I don't even know how long this took, but that was absolutely enjoyable. And I'll leave that at this and get back to it tomorrow for day 23. Day 23 today, and I just wanted to do some scribbles. I just got this vision of creating these tiny scribbles here. It's almost like a little edge of the page. Okay, that's quite fun actually. I didn't quite like the look on here, so I'm going to smudge it. Yeah, it works quite well. I'm getting a lot of it off. So this paper is magazine paper, so it's a little bit different to normal sort of book paper, so I can scrub some of it off, and it's leaving this dirty look actually on the page, which I think is quite nice. That is day 24. Next time I'll be back to it here on YouTube is next week. If you're interested in these mindful art journaling techniques, I have my course coming up at the end of April. The waitlist is currently open, so hop along to my website. I'll pop the link in the caption. And make sure that you sign up for the waitlist. You don't want to miss out on the early bird discounts and bonuses. So if this is really resonating with you, these methods and techniques, you will absolutely love the course, and I would love to see you there. All the links are in the caption, and I'll see you here again next week, and happy creating!